My name is Douglas Villeneuve. I'm an RPN at Mapleview Lodge. I've worked in long-term care for 12 years. Did some psychiatry, but the majority of my nursing practice has been in geriatrics and long-term care.
How does Joyce Travelby's theory of human-to-human relationship, especially the original encounter phase, affect your daily nursing practice?
It's mostly like a first impression, and you got to be careful not to be judgmental of your patient. Um, it's kind of like doing a head-to-toe assessment, but it's more about personality, self, and sense of respect for your patient. Um, it also gives you the tone and the language of all your further interactions with your patient, whether or not you can joke with them, or you're going to be faith-based in your interactions, or more disciplined and in a servitude kind of manner. It's all in how they expect from you. Um, it's what you see and what you hear, but it's also the absence of what you see and what you hear tells you so much. You tend to compare your patients to others in the past, and you draw on those principles and strategies and what has worked before to see if you can apply them to this situation. The goal is to develop a nurse-patient relationship that works well for you. Um, your impression to the patient also has an impact on their health and wellness, so this is a moment is crucial in developing your relationship, as everything will be based on what follows.
Awesome. And what about the phase of emerging identities?
You have to figure out your patient. You have to be careful to realize that they're not a bed number or a diagnosis. They're somebody's parent, grandparent, brother, sister, or child. Um, the patient and the nurse must see each other as people, but also respecting the role that each other has. Some patients are vulnerable, fearful, seeking trust, and most of all, an advocate. The nurse needs to be open and sharing with their patient, but careful not to share so much that your roles get reversed. You wouldn't want to overshare and cause sympathy from your patient, and that would take away from your ability to provide for them as they would worry about you. That's about the extent of that one.
Awesome. And now, finally, for the phase of empathy.
Empathy. Empathy is trying to experience what the patient is going through or their situation as best you can. It helps the nurse and patient move through their illness or their plan of care together. It's all about sharing an understanding of fears, expectations, and outcomes. With empathy, the nurse and patient can move through their experience with more ease and more trust. You can develop empathy very fast with your patient, but at times empathy will not exist for whatever reason, and you have to be careful to still maintain your professionalism and be an advocate and unbiased. Um, a patient's contact is mostly spent with a nurse or a PSW, um, whether they're in long-term care or hospital or whatever. You need to ensure that they feel understood and validated with their role. To me, empathy is a great bedside manner and the kind of care that you would give to your own family member or expect someone to give to your children.